Hi everyone, my name is Daisy Spirit and welcome to my YouTube channel, the channel where I focus on talk about personal growth and development, about the spirituality, and I share different spiritual practices and techniques with you, and where I also talk a lot about journaling and how to plan your day, how to plan your week. If you haven't checked one of my recent videos, feel free to do that, because today is one of those videos where we will talk about time management and planning as well, but from the side of how to be more efficient in completing your tasks and making sure that all tasks are completed on time. I've been getting a lot of those questions from you guys, from like DMing me, sending me different messages on Telegram channels as well. So how to do that, how to make sure that you don't miss the deadline, how to make sure that you don't stress about having lots of different things at the same time, and how to be efficient and making sure that you complete everything what you're planning to do during the day. Spoiler alert, you don't actually have to do every single task during the day, and it's okay if you don't complete something. So why people have been asking me this question, I've been around social media, like having my Instagram page for quite some time, since 2016. And I used to be a very active user. I would share my day, how my day looks like, what am I doing, different tasks, different projects. So I would share it all with people, and people would wonder, like, how do you do that? Like, do you have 36 or 48 hours in one day? How can you complete all of this? How are you staying efficient? How are you planning your day? The key idea is that I don't know the other way. I grew up like this. When I was a teenager, when I was back at school at the age of 12 or 13, I already had my journal. I was already planning my day. Recently, I found it out, and I would have like my musical school, because I was going to regular school and at the same time going to musical school. I had English classes, I had math tutor, I had some extra curriculums. I used to do the horse riding as well. So I would plan it all out. I had my own journal and diary, making sure that I'm staying on track with that. I've always been like this. I love planning, I love structuring and organizing things, and I love like following the deadlines. I never miss them, making sure that everything is on time, also being responsible of completing the tasks on time. And I feel like having that and being within that environment since I was a teenager, I kind of transitioned it to my adulthood life as well. So back a couple of years ago, for example, I had 2 full-time jobs at the same time and 1 part-time job, and it was all during the summer, and I was still doing some numerology and spiritual practices for people, and I'm recording some of my YouTube videos as well. And in the summer, I was still enjoying the weather. I was going hiking or paddleboarding with my partner, hanging out with the friends, and it is possible. So yes, some of my jobs were online, some of them were here on site in Vancouver. So it is possible to manage it all. It's just how you use your time and how you manage your time. Are you using it wisely or not? Because we all have the same amount of time. We all have the same 24 hours per day. But the key idea, what makes the difference, is how you use this time, how you optimize your time. Do you keep on wasting your time on unnecessary tasks or things? Or maybe you lose the focus and you just start doing something else. So we will talk about this in this video a little bit later on. But that's what many people are struggling with, and I've been pretty good at this. That's why people want to know my little secrets. But I don't want to say that my way of planning and being efficient, it is the right way for you. There are lots of different techniques. I've tried many different techniques, and if something is not working out for you, it does not mean that that's it. You are responsible, that you never learn how to manage your time, that you would never learn how to plan your day and never learn how to be efficient. No, that's not true. If one method is not, or one format is not working out for you, it does not mean that you should give up. Maybe you haven't found your method yet, okay? So now let's move to more practical stuff. Now let's move more to what we should do and what we should remember when it comes to planning and when it comes to being efficient with your time. As I said before, there are lots of different techniques, and some people love, for example, using the time blocking. I've tried the time blocking for some time, like you block your calendar, you specify, let's say at 8 a.m. I have a breakfast. Even you specify the time you wake up. I wake up at 5, then from 5 to 6, it's my morning routine. At 6, I go to the gym. At 7:30, I start having a breakfast, then I'm off to work. That's my working hours, that's my work schedule. That's what a window I need to focus on. I come back home at 5, 6, I cook dinner at 6. So you do the time block for the whole day in advance, planning things out, putting out the appointments. You can do it on Sundays, or you can set up even the same calendar. If you know your routine is the same every single day during the week, it can stay the same, it can stay consistent. You can have sort of templates. For some people, it is working out great. Some people, they love it. It keeps them being more disciplined, being more organized. And personally, for me, I've tried it for about a month. Yes, I would say at the beginning it was great and it was working out, but then I started feeling that I'm becoming very limited, and I started stressing out that I cannot complete my tasks within this time block, that I need more time, and then you have to move things. So for me, it started causing more stress because I needed this freedom and flexibility within my schedule, and that's why I did not really like the time blocking, but maybe it's gonna work out for you. Another technique that you can use, and it's been pretty well known, used by many people, it's called Pomodoro technique. Maybe you've heard about it before. It was originated and created back in 1980s. The whole idea is that you kind of start working in clusters. So you start 25 minutes of work. After 25 minutes, you work with your timer. After 25 minutes, you have 5 minutes break, and then you start a new session again. You do 4 Pomodoros, and after 4 Pomodoros, you can have a longer period of times of break. You can have 15 or 30 minutes of break, but breaking down your work by clusters, especially if you lack of focus, if you're struggling with concentrating on one task, if you feel like you need more breaks, and give it a try. It's okay if your timer, like, I don't know, you set up a timer for 25 minutes and you realize you're always in the flow. You just want to go, keep going. That's totally okay. Again, do not limit yourself. Do not take it exactly as it is. It's at like 25 minutes. Exactly, time is on, and I take 5 minutes break, and then I'm back on track. So be more flexible with that. See what works better for you. I know that for many people, they're getting distracted by their phones, by text messages, by all of the different things. They want to check their social media. So by setting up your time, like, okay, this is 25 minutes and I'm working right now, and this 25 minutes is fully dedicated and I'm fully focused on my work, I will have, after 25 minutes, 5 minutes break, and then I will get back to my tasks, and then I'll get back to my work. So maybe try the Pomodoro technique. Maybe it's gonna work better for you. Another technique, I'm trying to come up with different options here, is learning how to break down your tasks on urgency, based on the urgency. Is it important? Is it urgent? It's mid-urgency, and it's not really urgent. I shared one of these techniques in one of my videos where we were talking about planning your day, and where you could get the free PDF template in order to use that. Try this method, try this style. You have already a template, just go and download it and give it a try, because that's what I use. I love breaking down my tasks based on urgency, based on priorities. Okay, this is more important for me to create today, and by knowing that it is very important, I will make sure that it is completed today. That's how you stay efficient. That's how you make sure that all of the tasks are completed, when you actually see the priority. Because what happens is that when we don't see the priority, when we don't write it down, when we don't write down, okay, this is urgent, it actually needs to be done today, we don't see it, we don't realize, we don't recognize it, we start wasting our time on little tasks which are not that important, which are not that necessary, and you're just keep on postponing yourself from completing the task. That's how you can start missing the deadlines. So understanding that this is important, that's my number one priority for the day, and that's how I'm going to start my day. I'm going to start my day by focusing on these priority tasks. Once all of the priority tasks are completed, we can move on to the mid-urgency. We can, if we have time, we can have some non-urgent tasks completed. Sometimes what I do for my breaks after completing the urgent tasks, I will just take non-urgent tasks, still do them, but they're just little tasks which are good to do, but it's not urgent that you do it today or you do it tomorrow. But that's kind of my break time sometimes, and change of the focus, because sometimes when you're too focused on one task, on one thing, you start losing the focus and losing your attention to detail. So I just love sometimes switching that activity. So that's kind of the next step. So the first stage, which you need to recognize and acknowledge what technique is working out better for you, but you got to pick it up. You gotta pick which one you're gonna use, because without a strategy, going without a plan, that's not going to work out. We want to write it down. I want you to write down all the tasks, all the things you have to do for the day, for the week. That's how we stay efficient. We write it down, because our brain cannot remember every single stuff and every single thing we need to do. Sometimes if we don't write it down, we're gonna forget about it, but it was actually important to make sure that it's completed. So I want you to write it down. Don't keep everything inside your head. If you know that you have to do something, go and write it down. There's a 5 seconds rule. If you don't write it down within the 5 seconds, that's it. Your brain will forget about it, and you will forget about it as well. So I want you to write down. That's the first step. We write everything down. We write all the things and tasks we need to do for today. Then you choose a technique. Which technique you are using. As I said before, I'm using the one which is based on the urgency. Maybe you will use the time blocking. Maybe you will use different other techniques, Pomodoro techniques. So pick the technique which is working better for you, okay? Then the next important point is to avoid and eliminate different distractions. I briefly talked about it. I briefly talked about the phone. I talked about the social media. And if you know that you're getting easily distracted, I don't know, somebody messaged you and then you spend the time on your phone and that's it. You lost your focus, you lost your ideas, you lost your inspiration, your creative flow, just because you got distracted by the phone. So on different phones, there are different work modes. You can just have it next to you if you know that sometimes you cannot resist and you keep on checking your phone. Put your phone in another room, put it on charger somewhere to another room. So if you know that you're getting easily distracted by the phone, remove it. Put it somewhere out so you don't pick it up when it's actually not time for it yet and you should not be using it right now. Any other distractions when it comes to the work environment? People work better in different environments. If for one person, loud, noisy coffee shop is a good place to work, for you, it can be a distraction. For you, maybe you're struggling with focus, and for you, you're not actually productive within that environment. So we want to make sure that we understand what is the environment. Is the environment distracting us right now, or it is actually helping us? It's boosting our mood. It helps us to be more productive. So understand that and ask yourself, what is the best environment for me to work in? Maybe for you it's a change of environment. Sometimes people love changing like the environment. You work at home, then you work to a coffee shop, or then you work from the office. In the office, if it's free space, you can change your desk from one desk to another one. And how does it work for you? Is it working out or not? Or it is distracting you, as I said before. Some people, they are feeling more inspired and they actually love working with the music. Some people are getting distracted by the music, and the music is distraction, and loud coffee shops are also distractions. So what are your distractions when it comes to environment? And we want to eliminate them. And if you know that when you work around people, you're getting easily distracted about talking to them, chatting with them, asking how they're doing, what is their day, how's the weather today. If you know that you're getting distracted by this and you start having some conversations with your colleagues or team members, maybe it's better if you exclude yourself a little bit. Maybe you change the workplace so you become more efficient as well. Another important thing which you have to remember is that you don't have to complete all of the tasks by yourself, and you gotta ask for a help, and you can delegate tasks if it's needed. If you see that you're running out of time and you have other team members who are working together with you on this project, say it out loud so they can help you. You can work collaboratively together with them. If you have your employees as well, maybe you can delegate sometimes some tasks to them. So if it is possible to delegate things to other people, and if you can ask for extra help, that would be also encouraged. And that's when it comes to the point is sometimes when we tend to put too many tasks on ourselves. Sometimes when we start getting the tasks from other people. And it comes to the point about setting up the boundaries and knowing how to say no to other people when you are out of capacity. Understanding your capacity, that's very important, because sometimes we keep on putting many tasks on ourselves and we're saying like, yes, I'm gonna do that. Can you do that? Yes, I will help you. Yes, I will do that. But our capacity can reach a certain limit. It actually has the limit. And what happens is that we took too much. We've been greedy. And I want to acknowledge that sometimes the greed is the main problem why people are not efficient, why people are not completing the tasks on time, because they just decided to take so much. They decided to do so many things at the same time, and the efficiency sucks. That's why make sure that evaluate again all your tasks. How can you evaluate? Going back to our first step, writing it down and seeing like, can you do it? Can you get another tasks? Can you help that person or not? Do you have the capacity to do that? And again, remember that you don't have to complete every single tasks from your list. I want to make sure that you complete the most important ones. Another point is, I feel like we all have that coming from our childhood when we went to school, that we tend to postpone completing the tasks. We tend to postpone them until the last moment when we cannot wait anymore, when the deadline is here. So it's rather start small in clusters, step by step, slowly but surely, breaking it down by pieces so you don't stress last minute that, okay, it's deadline and I actually have to do it. So keep on reminding yourself about the deadlines, keep on reminding yourself about the importance of the tasks, that it needs to be done and there is no other way. And let's start prepare early in advance in order not to miss that deadline. To conclude all of the steps, I want to talk about the idea of responsibility. Being responsible for your own life and being responsible for completing all the tasks, completing what you promised, making sure that you do everything on time. Let's say if you have a deadline and you're part of the team, you're part of the company, and if you miss the deadline, if you don't complete your task on time, means the whole project can get postponed, meaning that so many things can get delayed, and because of you not completing it on time, the work of other people can get destroyed by this as well, especially if you work with clients, so you did not deliver the service to your client on time, and that's not the best look when it comes to the company, when it comes to the business. So I want you to take full responsibilities. If you say you're gonna do it on this time and by this time, please make sure that you do. Take responsibilities for your actions, take responsibilities and be respectful towards other people who are working together with you on this project. And if you struggle completing it on time, say it out loud. It's better to say it. It's better to say that you are running late, that you are struggling completing it on time, that you do need more time, you need extra help. It's better to say it than last minute when deadline hits and they ask you like, so where is it? We need it right now. I have a presentation at 10 a.m. Where are the slides? And you're like, oh, I didn't complete some. That's not gonna work out. That's not gonna work out, and you're not gonna stay in the company if it's for where you work for a long period of time, because you gotta be responsible. If you said you're gonna do it, please make sure that you complete all the tasks on time. If you know that you cannot do and complete the slides by 10 a.m. in the morning, reach out. It's better to say than to hide it. It's better to be honest. It's better to be open towards other people. Then actually at the end of the day, at the end of when it's like we're getting close to the work being completed, your boss or somebody else, your team members will realize that you have not done your part and you haven't done your work. So take responsibilities for everything. Take responsibility for your own life. You are the only one who is responsible for everything, who is responsible for completing the tasks on time, who is responsible for being efficient. And when it comes to myself, as I shared before, I love structuring things when it comes to urgent and non-urgent and mid-urgency tasks, and that's what has been working well for me. I love planning. I plan weekly, I plan daily, I plan monthly. I write everything down. That's how I stay efficient. That's how I plan things in terms of the priority, even when I had multiple jobs at the same time and I had to do and navigate many different things, and I had some clients as well for my personal business and projects on the side. So that's why you have to write it down. You have to put it. That's why sometimes time blocks work well. When you see like, okay, during this time I'm focusing on this job from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. I focus on my job number 1. From 12 p.m. till 4 p.m. I focus on my job number 2. And from 4 to 6, I focus on my own business. So what are your focuses? Like, set up the priorities. What is more important? When are you more productive? Are you productive more during the day or during the evening or in the mornings? Just find it out. All of us, we have different cycles in terms of the time, what works better for us, our biological cycle inside of us, and you just need to learn that. You need to find it out. And again, if something is not working out, it doesn't mean that that's it, you are a loser and you cannot do that and you will never achieve the efficiency with your tasks. It just means maybe the methods are not working out. Whatever you are doing, the format, it's not working out and it needs to be fixed. So let me know in the comments below how you are doing with your time. Are you staying efficient with it? Are you struggling with completing the tasks on time or not? Or if you're doing great, what has been helping you to stay on track with everything? Share in the comments as well. And I'm gonna see you in my next video.